And it's gotta be Cinnamon Toast Project. That's the only thing that's soothing my soul. Turn on the TV to Power Rangers, yeah. Now it's morphin' time, I'm ready to go.
All right, so now we got something else to review here. Great movie. I've been told that this is the greatest, at least animated trilogy of all time.
Yes.
How to Train Your Dragon. A movie, the third one of, which is filled with dragons going. Yeah, I think this one should win an Oscar next year. I'm sorry. I mean, that's the dialogue. It's riveting. So let's talk about this incredible movie here, How to Train Your Dragon. Who wants to go first? Daddy, you want to do that one, or Chuck, you want to do that one? Who's most excited? I know you guys are going to love it because you guys love the animated movies. And as you know, with me, when it comes to most of that, I don't think there's been an animated movie yet that I've been like, this was great. And we'll see if this is an exception.
The Spider-Verse?
I didn't say Spider-Verse was great. I said Spider-Verse was very good. I didn't say it was great.
You suck at life. Yes.
That much is evident.
Go ahead and let Danny go since he watched this one.
Yes, I do think that the How to Train Your Dragon trilogy is the best animated trilogy that I've ever seen. I'm thinking,
competing against Lion King, which is one viewing in the movies and then two of them straight to video. You don't have a lot of competitors here.
Exactly.
You do.
Lion King 1.5 was dope though. I really liked Lion King 1.5. That one was really good. But Lion King Simba's Pride, or what was his name, Kubo's Pride, I didn't like. That one wasn't good. But you got like Toy Story 1, 2, and 3. That was a solid trilogy. They got Toy Story 4 coming out. So we'll see on that one. That third Toy Story I didn't really love as much as the first two. Then you got Shrek. The Shrek movies were all really entertaining, but they weren't they were impactful on a cultural level because they really put DreamWorks. That's what put DreamWorks on the map.
Okay.
Like I believe that. And then the Despicable Me franchise with Gru. That's another thing that DreamWorks has done. But none of the films like what's that?
Cars.
Oh yeah, Cars. Yeah, Cars has 3 films, but that third one doesn't count.
I didn't think I watched the third Cars.
The third one was not the business. Then there's
the second one that was bad.
I think both the second and the third. No, the second one was okay. That was
I like the second one. The second one was good.
With the alternative fuel and the
Mater. I like that one.
I like that one. The third one with Mater was not. Then Madagascar also. DreamWorks has done some good animated.
Yeah, DreamWorks, like when you start going to the list, DreamWorks has done the business. Boy, it's like basically brought us up as adults. Like we've been watching DreamWorks since they first started with Toy Story. It's like because I think DreamWorks is actually more important than the animation department because we had a lot of like Lion King and stuff, but that kind of ended by the time you like 13. Then you had basically DreamWorks for the rest of your life with all the rest of the movies.
Yeah, that's crazy. Now I'm looking through it like Ice Age. That's not DreamWorks, but they had a lot of. What's Ice Age? Is that DreamWorks?
I don't know if that one is.
I don't know if that one is. But then you got Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs. Those are
great.
The first one was really good, and the second one was okay. But How to Train Your Dragon, they consistently did something fresh. The very first one was dope. Any movie with dragons is going to be cool, but learning how to train a dragon and then Hiccup and Toothless becoming friends, like I cried watching the third one when he decided to, he said, okay, humans aren't going to be safe in this hidden world. What do you say? And he had to basically decide to let Toothless go live his own life. He built him his little fireproof tail, so that he wouldn't have to worry about it getting messed up anymore. He let him go off with his with the Bright Fury, the Light Fury, and you know, it was dope, man.
I mean, I'm just saying, every time a brother gets successful, he want to go off with somebody of another race. I mean, it's just
really, Rashad. Really, really.
I'm sorry.
Really?
Oh, he's stupid.
He done become the alpha and then we'll run off with the white dragon. That's what we're doing. That's what we're doing. He don't want Tiger Woods.
I did not say that.
He don't want Tiger Woods.
Let the record know that was not me that said that. You know, I always say stuff like that.
No, but yeah, each one of these films, the second film, I think it's kind of hard for me. They're all really good. So this one will be really hard for me to put in a rank of 1, 2, 3 because the second one I really like just because of the concept of the alpha, you know, them bringing that, and then you know, Toothless having to, you know, destroy this huge Goliath, you know, of a dragon to literally save the dragons, and then you know, just the relationship between Hiccup and Toothless, and then you know, him finding his mother and his father, you know. The reunion of his mother and his father and stuff like that, you know, that Aquaman stole that too. So, but yeah, this one was really good, and it really closed out the series well. Even though, you know, they did leave it open, you know, for a possible you know, another sequel. But yeah, I had a good time. Just with the whole thing, I think.
How did they do that? The version I was watching. How did they do that? Because the version I was watching kind of like cut out like right before, like there was some possible plot thread.
So you didn't see the part where you know, they went back years later, and you know, Hiccup is grown. I think it was like 2 or 3 years later. They've gotten married. Yeah. They got children. And then you know, they go back to the hidden whatever it was called, and Toothless and the White Fury, the Light Fury, have also had children, and he didn't recognize them at first. Like he rolled up on them, and he was gonna, you know, he was about to attack them, and then he was like, Toothless, you know, he put his hand out, you know, like he did in the first movie, and then he recognized them, and then, you know, so he just decided, you know, he was like, as long as we're alive, we'll protect the secret of, you know, the dragons or whatever until men can, you know, respect the balance of humans and dragons. They will protect it or whatever. So they did, you know, show them when they were older and them going back, and then yeah. So, you know.
Okay, I saw all that. So
yeah.
I guess we're done.
That's it.
All right, well, I'll go ahead and go on that. But yeah, this is definitely one of the best trilogies in DreamWorks. I loved all the How to Train a Dragon. They're all funny, hilarious. They all have some touching parts. They actually have people die. You know, well, never mind. That happens in every Disney movie. They always have the parents die. But like after the father died on the second one, you know, from Toothless, I was like, dang, this is getting deep. And then, like, on this one, you know, seeing him actually have to take the mantle of his dad and, you know, keep his people safe and also, you know, go out there to basically make all decisions. He couldn't just play around like he normally was on the first two. You know, he had to think for everybody, not just for what he thought the dragons needed. I really I thought the best part of the whole movie was him trying to make, well, I guess his little mating rituals with the white dragon. That thing was so funny, man. Him and he's like his body couldn't stop moving correctly. He was trying to be so cool. It was just like it was so good. It was just great, just comedic gold. I was rolling on those parts. I just had to rewatch them and the different faces they make Toothless do, like his facial expressions in DreamWorks, like they really work on him, and it's just like you can connect with him. Even on like the first one, I remember when you first saw him and he was scary, and then his teeth went up and you saw his gums, and like he was like playing well, dude, like everybody, like he's playful. He's kind of like a cat almost. I think they said that's what they kind of designed him off of. But But yeah, it was a good I guess like Tori said, a good bookend to a trilogy. I don't think it was the best one. I think they could have did better. To me, it would have been better if they had a better villain. The villain was kind of like the same of the kind of like the other villains. Oh, I'm trying to trap dragons and be the leader of the dragon world or whatever. It's like, okay, can we get something else? Like we just had that. Like we literally just had that same villain right there.
Mm-hmm.
So I was a little let down. So I kind of just didn't really even pay attention to that part. I just enjoyed the film for what it was. Seemed like it was going to be a good bookend to the trilogy. It looked really good. I mean, they really did a good job with I guess I was going to say drawing, but it's animation. So. But they did a really good job. It's very polished. It looks way better than like the first one. Like when you go back and watch some of the older ones, and you come back to this one, it's like, wow, it looks completely different. It's like Dragon Ball Z. Like when you go watch the early Dragon Ball, it's like, I liked this before. This drawing sucks. And then you see the new one, it's like, oh wow, he looked great. So I had fun with it. I think I was watching the Netflix ones as well. Those like this past summer we got into those Netflix ones. The seasons of How to Train Your Dragon, they're pretty good. They're actually pretty good. I didn't think they were.
The show was solid.
Yeah, it's a good show. I was like, I would hear them watching it, and I would like clean up or doing something, and I just found myself just like coming over. I'd be end up watching the show, like, hang on, Joe, this is getting good.
Yeah.
Like, I was like, dang, I see. This How to Train Your Dragon knows what they're doing. Like, they have really, really good stories. That all the characters are fun to watch. You get seeing his look, Hiccup. I'm about to say what's his name. Hiccup's friends and all his little crew kind of grow with their dragons. And growing the men and women, and all that type of thing. So I think it was a good movie. It could have been better with a better villain. Could have been closer to the second one. I thought the second one was probably the best one for me.
Yeah,
but it still was pretty good. I really enjoyed it. What about you, Rashad?
In the immortal words of Aquaman, I will say to you, Chuck Taylor, my man. Just goes to show you that water truly is thicker than blood, because we are right on the same page with that. Everything that you said, I agree with. Even watching it on my computer, I could see that the detail was much better. I mean, and I watched them like back to back, and I was just watching the third one, and the quality of the video that I saw was really poor. But I was like, gosh, this looks amazing. Like, there's so much detail, so much. I mean, it looked amazing. You could tell that computer technology has stepped up quite a bit in the last couple of years. So that blew me away. For me, though, I didn't hate the movie. I thought it was fine. I agree with you in the fact that I thought it was definitely not as good as the second one. I think that the movies peaked out at the second. I thought the second movie was good. I hadn't seen any of these before. And so I watched number one, and that was cool to use it to figure his way out of the situation. Why are you looking at me like that? I can't watch all these.
Your voice is like you are underwater, Aquaman.
What? I look like I'm underwater.
Is your Wi-Fi on, buddy? You got a Wi-Fi?
As far as I know.
All right. You freezing out like a little robot man.
Well, it is what it is. I'll be the robot man this time. But yeah, it was cool watching number one and watching Hiccup to use his brains to figure his way out of situations. That was really cool to me. And then in the second one, the introduction of the character Drago, that was cool. He was actually played by, the guy from Guardians of the Galaxy that says, "Ooh." I don't know how to say his first name, but his last name is a black dude. And last name is Henson. He's an African dude.
What?
Okay.
Oh, German.
Oh, okay. I know who you're talking about.
Yeah. I thought he was a compelling film, and discovering the mom, I thought that was cool too. And watching Toothless, like you said, fight the alpha and become the new alpha, and then the relationship. Watch between Toothless and Hiccup after Hiccup killed his dad. I mean, after Toothless killed his dad. Like that was intense, and none of that really happened in this one. To me, there was a lot of just watching the two dragons talk to each other. Like, after about 10 minutes of that, I'm like, oh boy, okay. I did like the scene where like he was trying to do his dance and they were trying to go back and forth. Like I thought that was kind of cool.
Funny.
But they were flying around just talking to each other. I'm like, I need some words. That's subtitles or something like that. Like, baby, you looking hot with the wings. Ooh, that tail is shaking. You know. Let me see something. And the villain, the villain was definitely much weaker than Drago. That was disappointing for me because they showed him to kind of be so tough, and he's the killer of all dragons and stuff. But he just didn't come off nearly as strong. Like the whole thing where he was with the twin, and like she was getting on his nerves, and I guess he was trying to pretend like she actually was getting on his nerves. But I feel like he played that role too well. Like he came off as not being as sinister. Like he should have done a better job of after she left, like, haha, I got rid of the annoying little prick. Now we're going to follow her. So you could really tell he was just playing as being annoyed, but instead he just looked like he was annoyed with her. And you feel like, if you're annoyed with this girl, why don't you just stab her? I mean, what's the problem, you know? So for me, this was the weakest of the three. But overall, I think that the How to Train Your Dragon trilogy, as you say, is pretty good. I wouldn't say it's the greatest trilogy of all time. The greatest trilogy of all time is Color Commentary, where we give views from a different side. I did the ending early, so now I can't say that anymore. So, but for me, I recommend it. If you have kids, definitely I recommend going to see that. I think if you have a family, I think that you'll enjoy it. Chuck?
Somebody ended our video.
What is that?
Somebody ended our video on Facebook. So I guess we'll finish it up on YouTube.
Somebody end up.
Somebody.
Okay.
It wasn't me. I didn't do it.
Yeah. Well, go ahead and put it back up so we can get on this Black Panther. But yeah, I guess I would definitely say go check it out. I think it'll be good for the family, especially if they've seen the first two. You gotta go ahead and check out the third one. So it's kind of do it right.
All right, Danny.
Yeah, absolutely. I was gonna say that there's another trilogy that we didn't talk about, Kung Fu Panda. That was a good trilogy.
Oh, that's a good trilogy.
Another DreamWorks product. That was good. But yeah, I still say How to Train Your Dragon takes the cake.
Have you seen the meme where the Kung Fu Panda is holding like Thanos' gauntlet? Like Thanos is like pushing down on him like Captain America.
Oh no, I haven't seen that.
It's like holding the gauntlet, and he's got his finger up like a douche. That joke is hilarious. All right, guys. Well, of course, if you like what we did, make sure to skadoosh that like button. And as usual, you got to, which means subscribe to survive. I already said views from a different side, so we're just going to give you views from the same old side. Peace.
And it's gotta be